right, I'm here with Graham today. We're just doing some Mooney flying. He's an instructor. What's your time look like? Total time?
7:10 for my total time.
7:10. Nice. Cool. So we're just gonna talk about flying and maybe figure some stuff out here. Save the world.
Works for me.
Let you fly here.
Sure.
Instructing. It's been a while since I've done it.
Yeah.
What's the best part of instructing?
Best part of it, getting paid for not having to train anymore.
Right?
Yeah.
And the worst part?
Worst part is just, figuring stuff out as you go. That's sometimes, early on it was a little bit of some imposter syndrome, I suppose. But you get into it after a couple hours.
Yeah.
Get more comfortable with it.
Right. What's your scariest story?
My scariest story. Well, typically getting scared isn't frequent, but
Right.
students are always trying to kill you, so that's common. But it's when you're flying with other people's students and you're not comfortable with, or not necessarily comfortable. You're not you don't know how they react with stuff, how they run, what their personality's like, and that trying to learn and navigate that can be tough sometimes. But scariest, I'd say, not related to training, but I had to go. I was picking up some passengers. Just knew someone. They're like, "Hey, can you pick up some passengers from Detroit? They're coming in from Utah. Mind picking them up?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. What time?" They're like, "Their flight gets in 3:30 a.m." I was like, "Phew. Good Lord, that's going to be tough."
Right.
But I was fine doing that. I've picked people up before, flown into Bravos, no issue at all. But there was scattered thunderstorms in the area too, and I asked air traffic if I could not fly over Lake Erie. And, they're like, "Hey, that thunderstorm's moving in quicker. They're coming from the west." They put me over Lake Erie. Kind of talked me into it, felt like, and we were out there. It was me and a buddy out there. Man, what was this, about 3:15 a.m.? Thunderstorm was rolling through, moving faster than us, 50-knot headwind. We were just, oh, man, our ground speed was high 50s, low 60s. We weren't going anywhere.
Right.
And it finally got on top of us. Not necessarily on top of us, but close enough. We're getting a little bit of precip, and I was just like, "Oh, this is something else." Being out over Lake Erie, pitch black, and just every few seconds it lights up the cockpit with just the lightning. We didn't get struck or anything, but
This is enough. Yeah.
It was enough that it was like, "Oh, this is new."
Right.
Then finally got to the shoreline of Detroit, and I was like, "Okay, we're good now." Then it was kind of game on with the low-level wind shear, and then landed in at Detroit with the crazy taxi instructions, but we were good.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, you got a lot more experience, so I'm sure you've seen quite a bit.
Yeah. I had a student one time set the stall horn off in like 500 feet on final.
Oh.
And I was like, "Are you gonna fix that?" And he was like, "Fix what?" So
Yeah.
the problem was that my heart rate didn't increase,
Yeah.
and I was like, "All right, it's time to move on to another form of this career."
Yeah. Man, I need some trim.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
You're good. Throw me some notes.
I can trim it for you if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
Here, I got the airplane for a minute.
Your flight controls.
There we go. There it is. All right, that should be close. Maybe a touch nose up, but
All right, my controls.
you have it.
All right, what got me in aviation? To be honest, it was my dad.
Oh, nice.
Never flew, wanted to fly, always wanted to fly. And he had just stacks of books.
Go west.
West, all right. And I'd tear those up, being in elementary school, and that really kind of got me interested. And, the last person in my family to actually fly was World War II. My great uncle flew, we worked for Goodyear up in Akron, and flew the very depth G1s to the naval bases.
On the left side land 426, cross driver.
That's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of fun. And that kind of got the ball rolling. He didn't get into aviation, but always kind of wanted to. And I was like, I think I'd like to make a career out of that.
Right.
And it wasn't until my first day at Kent, where my first week at Kent, got to fly for the first time. I was like, "Oh, this is totally it."
Nice.
And it's funny, I actually got a little bit nauseated on my first flight, and I was like, "Uh-oh, myself in some trouble here."
I just flew with someone who that happened to, and they were like, "Oh, am I gonna be able to fly?" And I told them, like, no, it's normal.
It's totally normal.
Because you're not used to the movement, you're not used to everything.
Yeah.
And it's different when you're at the controls than when you're sitting as a passenger.
Yeah. And I tell students, like, I'll do intro flights with people, and they're like, "Oh my god, I don't feel well." And I've had people throw up in the airplane, and it's terrible. It's not enjoyable at all. And I mean, as a student, you're not retaining anything beyond that point, not at all. And I tell people, I was like, Chuck Yeager, first person to break the sound barrier, he threw up on his very first flight.
Oh, that's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, I mean, you get used to it. It's just like anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a hair of nose down trim.
Okay. That might.
Oh, I mean, if it works down here, I can.
Oh yeah, it works down there.
Oh, okay. Thought it was only on the.
No, it just smooth. When you got a lot of trim, that's the fastest way.
Okay, I got you.
If you want, so the speed brakes, I'll go ahead and show you those.
Yeah.
Push this button right here. This
Okay.
one.
Okay.
There they are.
Push it in. Oh wow, you really feel it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Interesting. Okay.
pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that's neat. How's my control inputs?
Perfect.
Pretty good. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Please
like
let me
it.
know if I need to change.
Oh, trust me, I'm a jerk. No,
No, I gotcha.
no, that's just something no one thinks about.
Yeah, absolutely
And
comfortable.
what we're talking about on the ground, I stress that if you turn, well, actually, this is where it all came from. My dad was a truck driver,
Okay.
and he said, well, when I turned 16, I pretty much could already drive. I grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I could back a trailer by the time I was 12. You know, so I kind of knew how to drive. You know, controlling the car wise.
Yeah.
It was techniques basically in the air or in the actual car and on the highway or whatever. But my dad told me, if you wake me up changing lanes, turning, starting, or stopping, you're wrong. So I worked really hard, you know, as a kid, to learn how to drive. I worked really hard to like take off smooth, stop smooth.
Yeah.
You know, everything was smooth.
Nice fluid movements.
And then when I moved into flying, I was only 20 when I started flying. And I mean, obviously back then I wasn't super smooth. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of learning. But,
Yeah.
But as I became a professional and an instructor and, you know, moved on, my entire goal was one, to be zero on my track,
Yeah.
on my GPS track, which is just a game, and to be as smooth as possible. And as you become an airline pilot, where it really becomes important is on the ground. Because in the air, they don't know that you can't fly an airplane. But on the ground, you go jerking that airplane around, they know. You know, because they're used to, they know what on the ground movement should feel like.
Yeah.
So you can get a lot of confidence with your passengers, even in this airplane, by being smooth on the ground, because they know what it should feel like on the ground, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's that front right there. That's cool. Let's go more like 030.
That works.
No, you're super smooth. That's really good. What's the most rewarding part of this job?
Truly, it's seeing students progress, and I think it the most rewarding part of that is seeing students progress out of a plateau. Like,
Yes.
we changed some stuff up. We need to restructure what we're doing. You know, this isn't quite working. Maybe I can reword this. Maybe we can take a different approach. And like your example of the crosswind correction, you know, with students, you know, like let's break this up into several parts and look at it differently. And that seems to work really well with a lot of people.
Right.
Especially, I feel like the younger people, like the more like 30s, 40s, middle-aged students, you know, their brain's not as malleable, so it's hard to get them out of a habit. So, like early on with students, you know, they can pick stuff up quick, and if they plateau, you approach it differently, and it works. It seems to work pretty well.
Yes. You're exactly right. That's the most rewarding thing, is seeing someone out of the plateau, because typically, it's not their fault.
Yeah.
Typically, there's something I'm not saying right,
Yeah.
or they're not hearing right.
100%.
You know, and if I can change, I usually, when I was instructing, I never wanted to be a flight instructor. Never.
Really?
If I could have avoided that, I would have. But I didn't know anybody in aviation,
Yeah.
so instructing was my only option. Honestly, the most rewarding part of my career was flight instructing and watching people, like, having to learn it. I tended to have about 5 different ways of teaching something.
Yeah.
But I also had great instructors with me that I could send my students with and let them, you know, maybe I'm saying this wrong, maybe.
Yeah. Let's try it with somebody else real quick. See
if they can fix it. And,
Yeah.
and one in particular his name was Andy Nash. Flies for American now. Great dude. Good instructor, by the way. But he he was very good at one talking to me on the ground. He was my roommate,
Yeah.
and we would talk through situations. And sometimes that was enough. Sometimes just dealing with it with another instructor, then you go back and you fix it. Other times it was like, hey man, I'm struggling with this. I don't know what to do with him. You try it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, exactly. You nailed it. The plateau. I mean, everyone has their plateau. What is your goal long term? What do you want to? What do you see yourself doing in aviation?
Oh man, I feel like I've been wanting to plane chase. Like just want to get in some airplanes, get in the biggest airplanes I can, just because that's what's all I've always been drawn to. 7.4, 7.6, triple stuff like that. As for route, corporate cargo airlines. I mean, I'm in a cadet program right now with an airline. Will that be my final destination? I don't think so. Airlines, corporate cargo, of those three routes, I mean, for right now, I'm going to stick with airlines. I think that's going to be. I mean, I want to apply my RATP to that right now, but I'm not sure that'll be my final destination with the career path. I'm open to change, just to kind of experience and fly what I can.
Yeah, isn't it cool? I don't know. Maybe you're still in the beginning stage of this. When you're a kid, you're like, I'm gonna be an airline pilot.
Yeah.
Because what else is there?
Yeah.
And then you get into this field, and you're like, oh, geez, there's a lot of options. You know, and there was a lot of stuff I didn't even know existed. When I started, when I was at your point.
Yeah.
I like cargo for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
It's really cool to me to get into a 747 with one other guy and fly from Anchorage to Chicago. I mean, like it just to me having two of you in a 7.4 is just, or even a 7.6, it's the same thing. You're blasting around the country, with just two of you.
Yeah.
7.4 is typically four now because I just did the one flight from Anchorage to Chicago last week, and it was 2-man crew. And it's just, I mean, it's just something really cool that a company's going to trust you with that size of an airplane. But the other thing that I like, cargo is a lot more stable. My example, I was in college and during 9/11, and on September 12th, I was at UPS and we still shipped air packages.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to get on an airplane, but they didn't have a problem shipping their packages. So that was my intro to the stability of the everything.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us today. It was definitely cool to fly with a flight instructor.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna do some work, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks for joining us.